Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
15 PCA.
87454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications.
Knights of Guinevere. I've been seeing this floating around on X and stuff. I'm like, okay, what's this about? Very short teaser trailer. Animation's nice. The character design's nice. I like everything about it. You know, visually, it looks really cool. Then I'm looking around like, why are people so hyped for this? You know, animated indie animations, but that's starting to not be, the word indie is like, oh, just not part of Disney. So no matter who's doing it, as long as you're not part of Disney, you're indie now. So it's like, that's what makes it cool, I guess. But Dana Trace, if you don't know who that is, that's the lady who did The Owl House. And while that show had infinite potential to be amazing, the sky was the limit. How cool they could have made that world. But just like most modern day cartoons, it was, let me get to my political message and let me get to little girls kissing. That was all people wanted. They didn't want world building. They didn't want the expansion of like with the boiling isles, what's going, like all this stuff. They just cared about two little girls kissing. Very strange, very weird. So that was with Disney's, you know, creative handcuffs, which I think can be useful sometimes. Sometimes you need barriers. It's when you have no barriers do you make slop. And that does happen from time to time. I hope that doesn't happen with this because it's a very short teaser trailer. You see what looks like a traditional Snow White type character laying in like a nice enchanted forest, all little pretty animals. She's like dark, she's like blue. So it kind of gave me Steven Universe vibes a little bit. So she's just laying like in the forest sleeping, but then it like cuts to like a futuristic type world where she has like a big like tentacle arm and scientists are running around and they're screaming and everything, but it keeps cutting back to like the fake fantasy world. So speculation time. I don't go digging around and looking for, oh, I got to find out what was said about this. And there was an interview at this and at this Comic-Con, this creator said this. I don't do any of that. That's ridiculous. You should not require that of your viewer to find out the story of your show, especially nowadays. Just make your thing. Don't hide backstory off screen. Don't ever do that. But someone was posting on X that this was an older idea that they've been kicking around, and it was called like Princess Park. So I'm thinking Westworld. Is that what this is? It's like a Westworld situation. I'm thinking, so you have this robot or this biomechanical thing. Maybe it's an assassin. Maybe it's some type of killer robot. And since it has like a human brain or a bio brain, it has to dream. So they invented this fake dream world so it can like calm down, because as like when you see it in what I'm assuming is reality, the part's dark and dangerous and she's like killing people. You hear people screaming. So I'm assuming she's killing the scientists or the engineers that are working on her. And the princess world is there for her to live, like dream, basically, kind of like the Matrix, like how what the robots did to the humans, like made a fake world for them to live in so they could, you know, be subdued. I'm assuming something like that. I'm wondering how they're going to play it, like how much of this show is going to take place in the fantasy world and how much of the show is going to take place in reality, if that's what it is. Or it could be like a Westworld thing where reality and the fantasy are the same, but it's like a manufactured thing, like, oh, come visit the world of beautiful princesses, but then why have this killer robot be part of it? Again, very interesting. There is a lot of potential here, but oh my lord, was there so much potential with the Owl House. It's Dana Trace. What are the chances, 1 out of 10, that Dana Trace has a self-insert character who's a little girl? She never makes herself a woman, which is so weird. A little girl who's madly in love with another little girl. What are the chances out of 10? I'm thinking 4 million out of 10. Those are the odds. This character is bisexual or lesbian, guaranteed. The Dana Trace cannot make a main character that isn't one of these things. How much of the cast is going to be sexually explicit, since now that they don't have any bounds. I don't want nudity. I don't. You can have relationships, you can have all that stuff, but when you have things like creature commandos and it's just like full blown sex, I don't like it in my animation stories. I know a lot of people do, and that's like a, something that they love, and it's funny whenever it's just a beautiful woman with a man, it's for gooners. But when it's anything that's LGBTQ, then it's beautiful and wonderful, and everyone should watch it. But it's not for gooning; it's for beauty and kindness. And no, it's for the gooners. There's just different types of gooners, and it's fine. You can like that content, but I just feel like it's cheap. I feel like you're saying, you know what, my story isn't very strong, my characters aren't compelling. Here's some sexuality for you, or some cussing, or some gory violence. You can have all those things and still have a great story. But I feel like nowadays it is very much a crutch and a pacifier to the internet crowd to like hyper focus on that, and then not be able to be like, wait a minute, none of the story makes any sense. Like in the Owl House, there's some very big plot holes in how the world works, but everyone screams at me because apparently I hate it when two little girls kiss, because that's all they care about. They don't want anything else. They just want that. I hope this show doesn't have that, but I can't. From what I've seen, I can only infer from the creator. I can only infer from this indie scene and the whole thing of like, oh, now Disney's not going to stop me from telling the story I want to. And they just, you told your story about two little girls kissing. Like, how much further do you want to take that? I don't know if I want to go on that adventure with you. But I love indie animation. I think animation is probably one of the best ways that ever tell a story, because regardless of CGI and live action, there's things in animation that you can do that can never be done in live action. No matter, we're not there yet. I don't think we'll ever be there, because something about the art form, and you can do abstract, you can do hyper realistic, you can blend the two. Animation is just beautiful. I will continue to cover this as it starts to come out more. A 20-30 second trailer isn't much. I need to hear voices. I need to see the actual animation, because things like, Has Been Hotel started out one way and ended another way. And if anyone who follows me knows, I don't watch other people's videos. I will refuse to watch another person's video. But I needed to look up the trailer for this, and you get the trailers, the first result, then there's like, people's, essay videos underneath, and things like, this will change animation forever. Sweet baby, don't talk like that. That is so ridiculously stupid. Off of a 30-second trailer, you're going to say it's changing animation forever? Get a grip. I'm pretty sure you said the same thing about the Owl House. I'm pretty sure you said that about every show that you really liked. Calm the hell down. Take the show for what it is, the good and the bad. Don't be one of those people. But I can only imagine. I didn't scroll down any further, because those kinds of headline titles on YouTube thumbnails is just disgusting to me. But I'm looking forward to this. Do you think it's going to take, I need the audience participation is great. I love it, having conversations about storylines and potential settings. I'm thinking, like how I said earlier, that this killer robot thing needs to dream, because it has a biomechanical brain. So they're trying to make a world that it's a very cutesy world, a very soft world. So when it's not in that world, it can go do its like assassin stuff, it's killer robot things, and then they put it to sleep, so to speak, and then it has these dreams. So, but when something is alive and you created something, its brain is going to try to make connections between this fantasy world and then it's like real life, like killer robot world, and these two things are going to start bleeding together, and the fantasy is going to break. And that's when this thing's going to break out of its bonds. And what did you do to me? You created me to kill, and you gave me this fake life to live. And I that's interesting. That is such a cool little storyline. It's not most original storyline, but it's cool. So I hope it's something like that. And just, my goodness gracious, since there's no handcuffs, the Disney handcuffs, just the political stuff, the sexual stuff, that's what's going to turn me off. So we'll wait and see. So far, I'm cautiously optimistic, and hopefully they just deliver a great, fun story with cool animation and fun characters. Is that too much to ask?
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on the video really helps out a lot. It gets the video spread around more people get to see the videos, and we get to make more videos for you guys. So thank you, and we appreciate every single one of you guys.